We should be able to look this man in his face like he looked my sister in the face and shot her cold-blooded with a hollow-tip bullet.
That was my baby. All I can say is they was very toxic. He always threatened to kill her. He knew he was going to do that. I just can't understand how he would take the mother of his daughter and do it right in front of her. You know what I'm saying? With no remorse, no remorse.
Is this fun for you? I don't understand why you're smiling. Mr. Lynch, you're going to go to prison for basically as long as I can send you.
This is the story of Jo Von Ferguson Lynch, a 34-year-old mother who dreamed of building a bright future for herself and her 7-year-old daughter. Tragically, Jo Von's life was cut short by the very person who vowed to love and protect her, her husband, Joshua Lynch. On February 8, 2023, in a shocking act of violence, Joshua, a troubled individual who had 13 prior felonies, shot Jo Von twice in the head in front of their young daughter, leaving the family devastated and forever changed. How could a moment of conflict lead to such a devastating outcome? Welcome to Viral Crimes. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for more stories. This story takes us to Cleveland, Ohio, a city that has undergone a remarkable transformation in recent years. Once known for its industrial past, Cleveland has emerged as a vibrant, diverse, and culturally rich metropolis that offers a wealth of attractions and opportunities for its residents and visitors alike. In this very city, a tragic crime unfolded, forever altering the lives of those involved. At the heart of this tragedy was 34-year-old Jo Von Ferguson Lynch, a dedicated mother and beloved member of her family. Jo Von was the proud mother of a 7-year-old daughter, whose happiness meant the world to her. She was close to her family, particularly her mother, Annetta Ferguson, and her 3 sisters, Marcita, Teresita, and Yvonne Ferguson. Known for her strength, kindness, and love for her family, Jo Von was someone who always put her loved ones first. Jo Von was in a relationship with Joshua Lynch, her husband and the father of her 7-year-old daughter. The couple had been together for several years, navigating the complexities of their relationship, which was often overshadowed by turmoil and conflict. Jo Von had hoped for a stable family life, but Joshua's history of domestic violence cast a long shadow over their relationship. In 2017, he faced charges for breaking into Jo Von's home and threatening her with a gun, an incident that left deep scars. Despite these challenges, Jo Von remained committed to her family, believing in the possibility of change and a better future for her daughter. However, on February 8, 2023, that hope was tragically shattered when Joshua's abusive behavior escalated to a horrifying climax. On the morning of February 8, 2023, a tragic crime unfolded in Cleveland, Ohio, when Joshua Lynch fatally shot his estranged wife, Jo Von Ferguson Lynch, in front of their 7-year-old daughter. Jo Von was at her home on Huntmere Avenue, on the phone with another man, when Joshua entered and shot her twice in the head. Their daughter was inside the home during the entire ordeal, witnessing the horror. After shooting Jo Von, Joshua attempted to clean up the excessive amount of blood with a Swiffer mop. He then dragged her lifeless body down the stairs and placed it inside a car, all in front of their young daughter. Joshua fled the scene with his daughter, dressed only in underwear despite the cold February weather, and drove away in Jo Von's car. He later abandoned the girl at the Elyria police station, leaving her with family members. By 9:30 a.m. that same morning, the police responded to reports of suspicious activity at 16,210 Huntmere Avenue. Upon arrival, they found Jo Von's body inside the car, a gunshot wound to her head, confirming she was dead. An intense investigation followed, leading authorities to quickly identify Joshua Lynch as the prime suspect. Joshua had a long history of domestic violence, weapons charges, and illegal drug activities. He had been involved in more than a dozen felony cases in Cuyahoga County, including a 2017 incident where he broke into Jo Von's home and threatened to kill her while waving a gun. Family members, especially Jo Von's sister, Marcita Ferguson, were not surprised that Joshua had finally taken her life, given his repeated threats and history of violence. She noted, he always threatened to kill her. After a 5-day manhunt, Joshua turned himself into the police. He faced an 11-count indictment.
I've been an emotional wreck. I'm trying to find the solace on the move forward on how we can piece our lives back together for Jadea. Like I said, I'm at a loss for words. It's beyond, I can't even put it into words.
Siobhan Holt is Jo Von Lynch's older sister. Her life was not the only one torn to pieces by what Jo Von's husband, Joshua Lynch, did.
dragged the body of his wife down the stairs so his daughter could see, made the daughter, dressed only in her panties in February, barefoot, search around for car keys, and then proceeded to get the car stuck in the mud and left in the victim's vehicle.
He also kidnapped his daughter. She was later found physically unharmed.
Her daughter will no longer, she's an angel, will no longer be able to see her mother. He took my baby sister from us. And my niece don't have a mom, nor does she have a father.
Judge Mataya, who heard the case, reads the charges of the heinous acts committed by 36-year-old Joshua Lynch.
Murder in counts 2 and 3, felonious assault in counts 5 and 6, having a weapon under disability in counts 7 and 8, endangering children in count 9, and gross abuse of a corpse in count 10.
For that baby to sit up and witness and tell what she saw, that's too much for a kid. Too much for a kid. And he sat here and smiled about it. And it's not right. It's not right at all.
Mr. Lynch, you're going to go to prison for basically as long as I can send you.
During the trial, shocking details emerged about the crime. Joshua had texted his mother after the murder, stating, "It's a body in it. I'm going to jail for good." His lack of remorse was apparent throughout the court proceedings, as he was seen smirking during the sentencing, prompting the judge to rebuke him, asking, "Is this fun for you?" During the trial, the couple's 7-year-old daughter bravely testified about the events of that night, describing how her father shot her mother and dragged her body. Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Judge David Mesha, who presided over the case, expressed disgust at Joshua's behavior and praised the young girl for her courage. Mesha admonished Joshua for not pleading guilty to spare his daughter from having to testify, stating, "You could have shown some compassion toward your own flesh and blood." The emotional impact on the family was evident during the sentencing hearing. Other family members echoed similar sentiments, describing the deep loss they felt. The family is now raising Jovan's daughter, who continues to suffer from the trauma of witnessing her mother's murder. She has nightmares. And she cries, and she screams that she misses her mom, mother, Annetta Ferguson shared. Joshua's trial concluded on August 8, 2024, with Judge Mesha sentencing him to life in prison, with the possibility of parole after 28.5 years. The sentence was the maximum term allowed by law, with Mesha stating, "If there is one individual who does not deserve to move freely in organized society, it is you." Joshua was convicted on multiple counts, including 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of felonious assault, 2 counts of possessing weapons under disability, 1 count of child endangerment, and 1 count of gross abuse of a corpse. His long history of criminal behavior, including numerous domestic violence incidents, had finally culminated in this horrific act of violence. As the family continues to grieve the loss of Jovan, they have established a GoFundMe campaign in her honor to help support her daughter and raise awareness of the dangers of domestic violence. Despite the passage of time, the pain remains fresh for those who knew and loved Jovan, and the tragedy has reignited calls for stricter penalties for domestic violence offenders. Jovan's family has expressed frustration that Joshua, despite his long criminal history, was able to continue terrorizing their loved one, leading to this devastating outcome. The case has also sparked wider discussions about Ohio's handling of domestic violence offenders. A proposed Ohio bill, House Bill 111, seeks to increase penalties for serial domestic violence offenders, a response to concerns that past reforms had softened penalties and allowed repeat offenders like Joshua to remain on the streets. Jovan's family has been vocal in supporting changes to the legal system, hoping to prevent other families from enduring similar tragedies. Despite the legal resolution, Jovan's death serves as a painful reminder of the deadly consequences of unchecked domestic violence. What happened to Jovan was a tragedy that should never have occurred. Her death at the hands of her estranged husband highlights the devastating consequences of ignoring clear warning signs. Despite his long history of domestic violence and previous threats to kill her, insufficient action was taken to prevent this escalation. If authorities had enforced stricter legal measures such as stronger restraining orders or keeping Joshua in custody, Jovan's life might have been saved. This failure underscores the need for comprehensive reforms to protect victims of domestic abuse before it's too late. The impact of Jo Vaughn's murder is profound and far-reaching. Her family and loved ones are left to cope with not only her loss, but the trauma of knowing her young daughter witnessed the killing. The psychological scars from this horrific event will take years to heal, especially for the child who lost both parents in such a violent way. The entire family now carries the weight of this avoidable tragedy, and the community mourns a life senselessly cut short. My condolences to Jo Vaughn's friends and family. May you continue to heal and one day find peace. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.